me, Tara Strong, aka Miss Minutes for Bama Geeks. I hope you're ready to watch, and if you don't, I will have to prune you. Stay on your sacred timeline.
And good evening. It is Sunday night. Hope you are doing well. And miracle of all miracles, all four of us are back together again for the first time since the end of November.
Yeah.
Wow.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy New Year to everybody. It's going to be fun tonight because not only are we going to talk about Maximum Overdrive, but Jess may dip in and out because she may have a coughing fit. So if you see her disappear, then you know what's going on.
I'll be right back. I promise. I just, need to get through it and get back to y'all. So if y'all see me dip out, I'll be back just a bit.
We hope so. So anyway, we're the Bama Geeks. I'm Brock Parker. That's my wife, Jessica. Down below is Bo Bearden and Kevin Gardner. That reminded me of watching. We watched the 1990 Survivor Series last night.
Mm-hmm.
And so Kevin's moved right there just reminded me of like when Legion of Doom were standing there while the Ultimate Warriors talk and they're like,
Cute.
just mean mugging for the camera.
Yeah.
Oh, me. Well, before we get into the fun topic of Stephen King's Maximum Overdrive, and boy, it's going to be fun. Make sure you join us at our website, bamageeks.com. You can find everything about our lovely little podcast there. We've got audio, all the audio episodes, video episodes. We got a couple of blog posts that are up. We got anything you want to find out about that website or about the podcast, just go to that website. Of course, you can also join us on social media at Bama Geeks. If you're on Facebook, just search out Bama Geeks Front Porch as our private Facebook group. We'll be happy to add you. You can join in on the conversation. Some fun things always get posted in there. And if you'd like to support the podcast, never, ever necessary, but should you choose to say, hey, kind of like you guys.
Yeah.
Then just go to bamageeks.com/join. From there, you can learn how to join our Patreon. You can learn how to join our YouTube channel. You can also buy us a coffee, KO-FI.
Who doesn't love coffee?
Not to be confused with SoFi. Now, if you really want to pay some of our loans off, then just contact us directly and we'll let you know, okay?
Absolutely. But yeah, just go to bamageeks.com/join. I think coffee is like a one-time donation thing.
The tip jar.
Yeah, it's pretty much what it is.
It's
It's a tip jar. If you don't want to do a monthly subscription or anything, just go over there and drop us something. While we're here on YouTube, just leave us a super chat. Or if it's after the live stream, you can leave us a super thanks. Should you care to. Never, ever, ever obligated to do that, but if you just feeling froggy,
won't stop you. Yeah.
And also leave any comments along with the if you're viewing us later after the live stream, leave us a comment.
Somebody's got to be that first.
If you watched Maximum Overdrive, and how do you feel about it?
If you found us after the fact.
So our good friend Matt Provençal from Canada dropped us a message on our Instagram today. He dropped in and said that his wife had not seen Maximum Overdrive either, and so they were going to watch it tonight and then join us at some point.
Okay.
Mackenzie.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Much as he loves ACDC, he has got his wife to watch this movie by now. Wow.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
About that.
So hopefully they're going to join in, but yeah, as we get talking about Maximum Overdrive, please drop comments in the live chat. We want to talk to you. We want to know your thoughts on this movie. I don't know if I'm comfortable enough calling it a classic.
It is a what do you like to call it, Bo? It's
a product of its time. It could have not been made at any other point in history, I truly believe.
Yes. And it's the only movie that I think features more AC/DC music than the Iron Man movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go along with that.
Yeah. The thing was, I mean, they didn't play as much AC/DC as I was hoping they would. But
it was the only music featured in it, though.
That's
so.
it. Yes.
And the obligatory at one point, there's a van, a black van on the bridge that somebody had painted the AC/DC logo on, and there he is. We just mentioned it. There's Matt. Matt said we had a delayed start, but we are now halfway through the movie. The voice of Lisa Simpson is screaming at full volume, louder than the AC/DC soundtrack.
Yep,
absolutely.
Oh, what was her fiance's name? Character's name?
Curtis.
Curtis!
Don't you go out there, Curtis!
I'm not becoming a widow on my wedding day.
Curtis, are you dead?
Yes.
Oh, Matt, I'm so happy you made it on here, man. I don't know if you caught it. We were just talking about you, dropping us that message.
Look, we don't have to feel bad about feeling a particular way about this movie because Stephen King himself, he has referred to this as a, quote, a moron movie.
That's definitely a moron movie.
So it was his only movie that he directed. And he did admit that he was also, quote, coked out of his mind.
I believe that.
I was about to
100%.
ask if he was in his drug phase then.
Yeah.
Well,
I fully believe that.
Yeah, I mean, he said that he would like to try actually directing sober someday, but he's never done it.
I don't think anybody's going to be able to get him to do that.
Here we go. I was hoping that Chase would join us.
Don't do trucks.
Chase Ambrose, if you think Maximum Overdrive is bad, watch the remake.
Don't watch trucks.
That is a review that I have got.
Do not watch
to see
trucks.
this now.
Makes Maximum look like Citizen Kane.
Do not watch trucks.
I got to tell you, going back to Stephen King, my first thought, Stephen always finds a way to be in the movies that are his.
He was doing it before for Stan Lee, right?
Yeah. He was. Yeah, Stephen was Stan Lee before Stan Lee.
The Stephen King verse.
Yeah. Well, technically, the Dark Tower series is his Stephen King verse for anybody who's read it. Sorry.
And Matt says trucks is not even dollar store DVD bin worthy.
Yeah.
The thing is, these guys get me to watch some terrible movies, so now we're going to have to watch trucks.
Okay. I mean, we have watched some horrible stuff for this podcast. Yeah.
You're gonna wish you gone back and just watch Hide and Creep instead again.
Oh, it's on Tubi. Oh, this
Trucks is on Tubi.
Okay.
I think according to IMDb's website, it is.
What was that killer tire movie you wanted us to watch?
Oh, Rubber.
Yes.
Rubber's actually good, from what I understand.
Yeah, Rubber's it's a good movie. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, another one that I would love to watch, and granted, this one will be a little bit more interesting. It's actually a little more recent. Is Glorious. That's the one where it's Ryan Quanten, the guy from the True Blood show, the one that was always he was the younger brother of Suki, or the younger brother or whatever, in the True Blood series, and it's got the whole deal is it takes place in a rest area restroom, and it's Glorious is literally a glory hole.
Oh no.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not watching that.
It is phenomenal. It is so good. God.
Oh, sorry. Just seeing that transpire. Oh, God.
And you guys thought we were going to be talking just about Maximum Overdrive. Boy, were you mistaken. Did we just get demonetized? I am so sorry.
No, you didn't mention that in the first 30 seconds. You're fine.
Sorry.
You know, that reminds me, there is Bubba's got a personal shower in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you go to the shower house. All right, Jess had to get up. Jess will be back in a minute. She is.
I broke Jess with that comment. I'm sorry.
Oh my. So anyway, Happy New Year. if you probably hear her coughing. Jess has been having a lot of coughing fits the last couple of weeks, and so she said if she disappeared off screen, then that's would be what she's doing. And Kevin got her pretty good. So
it's decided. It's decided for Halloween this year, guys. We're all gonna watch Glorious, and we're gonna talk about it.
No.
Yes, no. Brock. I will send you the trailer. It's not bad.
Tell you what. Y'all join Patreon, BamaGeeks.com/join, and we'll do a watch along in the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh!
I don't even just added trucks to my list on Tubi. Oh man!
I was hoping to keep talking about things, but then she ran off because she's got all the trivia loaded up. All right, she's coming. She's on the way back. Doggone
this is why we do it live.
While she's coming back, look, I'm going to name drop one more person for this. Okay, I'm not going to mention the two words again, but J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons is Inglorious. Yes, he plays the voice of the Thing in the glory hole.
Oh no!
No, I didn't come back to hear this.
I'm waiting for Justin to get back to say it again.
Oh my God.
We love you, Jess.
Cheers, Matt.
All right, anyway.
I'm not surprised with this Stephen King and Maximum Overdrive.
Okay. Back to Stephen King, speaking of. He shows up at the ATM. We're not repeating anything that all of a sudden started showing up at the beginning on the ATM screen. But Stephen King showed up looking like Dan Aykroyd from Saturday Night Live when he would do Fred Garvin, male prostitute.
I know. He's like, wait a minute, Dan Aykroyd's in this?
Yeah.
I didn't know Dan Aykroyd was in this picture.
I was like, he's Dr. Detroit. If you guys don't know Fred Garvin, you got to go look him up because
yes, classics SNL bit.
Yes. Bo and I were having an off-screen conversation about Fred Garvin just a couple of days ago.
Yes.
Oh, gotcha.
Kevin is linking in the chat. Is that
the trailer for Glorious?
All right, watch at your own peril.
Yes.
The trailer's not that bad. Okay.
Matt says,
I'm also the one who said Hide and Creek wasn't that bad either. So
yeah. Matt says my all-time favorite Stephen King cameo.
It made me think, was this movie the reason why, like, after that, all I can remember is from the early to mid 90s that all his movies and adaptations were television?
I don't know
I
don't know if that had any reason to do with it, but I do know that it's because of this movie that the Evil Dead franchise became a thing.
Really?
Yeah. So Stephen King loved Evil Dead so much. He had heard that Sam Raimi and that they were having difficulties getting a sequel made. So Dino De Laurentiis was the producer of this movie. So Stephen King went to him about the Evil Dead movie and about Sam Raimi, and that's how Evil Dead 2 got made.
Oh, really?
So if there's anything good that comes out of Maximum Overdrive, Evil Dead became a franchise because of it.
Other than the Goblin truck, that's the best thing that came out of this movie was the Goblin semi.
The Goblin truck was pretty cool. And Chase says my favorite King cameo is in Twilight Zone the movie.
I haven't watched that in a long time.
Oh, man,
is Twilight Zone the movie the one where Vic? What was his name? That was actually killed.
Yes. Oh. The helicopter thing.
Oh, he was unalived. I'm sorry. I don't know if that's going to get caught up in the...
Oh, man.
Oh,
that
man.
Be worse than the other two words I said twice.
Yep, that's the movie. Huh?
Okay. Well, I don't think I've ever seen Twilight Zone the movie, so I'm not familiar.
Oh, you mean Creep Show?
Oh, you mean Creep Show?
That's the one him and Romero worked together on, right?
Oh, we didn't want to say it, Chase,
Creep Show. Yes.
Okay.
We didn't want to say it, Chase. But,
with the meteor. Yeah.
Creep
Show.
Yep.
And it says, and Who Made Who is probably AC/DC's best single of the mid to late 80s.
Yep. And then they play that while giving us a deep-seated fear of drawbridges.
Yep.
Yeah. No kidding.
And also a fear of watermelons hitting the windshield. You know, where they do the whole slow-mo watermelon thing coming down, and that was just like, man, that, because I don't know about you guys. I mean, Brock, obviously you just saw it, but I saw this when I was young. I was a kid when I saw this, and that put some scars, especially anything to do with trucks like coming after you and stuff. A movie like this wouldn't be able to be made today because, I mean, let's be honest, we have listening devices that are listening to, you know, all of our fears, and they know everything about us. So if machines ever turned on us, we'd be dead anyway. But you know, having deep seated fears of semis coming after us in particular, that was, you know, that was crazy when I was a kid.
So I can't remember how long ago was it. So, you know, Brock and I watched it, but I can't remember how long ago it had been since the point I had watched it, you know, in the past. But I don't remember it being as terrible as it was in my rewatch. I mean, at a young, you know, if you're younger, I know I had to be younger when I watched it the first time. So maybe that's why I was thinking, it's got a little more, you know, the horror element to it. But this time watching it around, I thought, oh, this is really bad. This is horrible.
It's almost like Stephen King sat down and he said, okay, I have several scenes that I want to put together into a movie. And then they just strung it together. Like the scene with the coach that gets hit by the Coke cans from the machine where it kills him. And then the steamroller, the
steamroller.
Yes, that rolls over the kid, which was absolutely amazing. And then the ice cream truck, of course, that basically, I'm convinced that spawned Twisted Metal franchise.
I could go
just
with that.
I mean, seriously, just having that bloody ice cream truck. I was like, I saw, when I got older, they had Twisted Metal, and I was like, that was from Maximum Overdrive.
And you know, the steamroller brought up that unlocked a very young core memory for me as I was watching some sort of TV show, and I don't remember what the show was, but I remember it was in the early 80s or late 70s. Steve Martin was on it, and Steve had gotten drunk and was driving a steamroller, and I don't know if it was like a variety show or a skit show or something like that, but he gets on the steamroller and then he just rolls over a kid. And when wait a minute. When the steamroller goes over him, then there's like, you know, a cartoon flattened version of this kid. Frightened the mess out of me. That was like one of those, you know, scared of quicksand moments. I became very scared of steamrollers after that scene.
I'm gonna have to.
I found the short you're talking about. I got it.
You did?
Here.
What show was it? It was some sort of show. It was on.
I don't know, but I can link it if you guys want. I have to find it.
Well, Matt said, "Is Maximum Overdrive? Is it one of the first on-screen kid deaths in an '80s horror film when the kid gets rolled over by the steamroller at the baseball game?"
I don't know for sure, but that was something unexpected to see a kid getting, you know, steamrolled like that. Yeah. But you were talking about this.
I'm not watching that.
So
Kevin just put it in the chat. I will not watch that, at least right now.
Well, the thing with the steamroller was, in this case, was the fact that you didn't see it. It broke through the fence and came after that kid. And this was after the coach had already got beamed to death by the Coke cans.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it was like, this is getting crazy.
So this thing about the steamroller. So this says, while shooting the scene in which the steamroller rampages across the baseball diamond, Stephen King asked the FXX department
Special effects.
Yes, to place a bag of fake blood near the dummy of a young player who would be run over by it. A smear of blood would appear on the steamroller and be resmeared on the grass over and over, like a printing press. While filming the scene, a bag of blood exploded too soon and sprayed everywhere, making it appear as if the boy's head had also exploded.
Made it so much better.
So King was thrilled with the results, but censors demanded the shot be cut.
Oh my God. And that was terrifying. And then like right after that, the kids running through the neighborhood, and then you have that radio, whatever the push mower was coming after him. I was like, and it was a bloody push mower. That thing had already killed like cats or another. No, it killed the guy that was using it. Remember, because he was
Yeah.
like half of his body was behind the. I mean, it was. God, man, it was nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was almost like I said. It was almost like Stephen King had. He's like, I know I want to do these shots and these things, and I'm just going to string together a movie. Like at the very end, he wanted to use a rocket launcher, so he was like, I'm going to have a rocket launcher shoot at that boat or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what? What are we doing?
Cocaine. Okay. He was coked out of his mind. He admitted it. He was like
This episode's got everything. Suggestions.
This episode is going to wind up demonetized.
You guys enjoy it.
We're saying all the things you
I can't-
shouldn't.
Oh, I'm not supposed to say that.
I hope you don't anymore.
Brock's gonna have to put us through a coaching class after this, so Kevin doesn't come in and start suggesting movies that get Jess off of the freaking screen.
Okay. Anyway, hey, we got a comment from Chase.
Hang on, Jess. You've had your turn. Hang on. I'm going to get to Chase's first comment in a couple of minutes, but Chase says, to answer Matt, one of the first graphic 80s kids unalivings is when the kid on the bicycle is run over by teens on the Toxic Avenger. They used a cantaloupe with burger meat in it for the effect.
Sweet.
All right.
Oh man.
And yeah, Matt is confirming. I'm not putting that on screen. Matt is confirming that it's heavily documented that Stephen King was completely on the stuff during this entire film.
Pixie dust.
Yes. So Chase, one of his other comments.
Forrest Bump.
Devil's dandruff.
Oh my gosh.
Booger sugar.
So, so
Disney
Chase
has the full list. Okay.
Matt says, thank you, Chase. The more you know.
There you go.
Okay.
So Chase brings up one of the things that it really didn't click with us when we first saw him on screen, but one of my all-time favorite actors, if you're a longtime listener of this podcast, you know I have a severe man crush on this guy, and he only gets 2 words in this movie. But Chase said a couple of years after this movie, one of the actors was in Do the Right Thing. That, of course, is the pinball thief, Giancarlo Esposito. I have a huge man crush on Giancarlo.
We love him.
And
Heck of
been
an actor.
thankful to meet him a couple of years ago. But it's truly an 80s movie because he's in there in the break room stealing everything out of the vending machines and all. And he only gets 2 words this entire movie. And that's yo mama.
Yeah.
And then he gets hypnotized by an arcade machine, and then gets
And fried.
of course electrocuted. And the thing is I get calling him a pinball thief, but I mean he's like the dude was like more cigarettes. Like he was smoking cigarettes and everything.
Yeah.
That was the most cheesy. It got to that. I mean, the movie was already cheesy enough, and then he gets to the point where at a truck stop and the guy's in there stealing. And by the way, I will fully admit to everybody here, I did not realize that was Giancarlo Esposito. I have seen that movie, I don't even know how many dozen times, and I had no idea that was him until someone mentioned it. I think, was it Brock or something? One of you mentioned it in chat. Yeah, and I was like, no way. And I went back and looked, and I'm sitting here, and I have to pull this. We're in the middle of a movie, and I have to pull it up. I have to stop it, pull up the movie, pull it, and go and look, and I'm like, no freaking way, that's him. So now the movie is forever changed for me. Thank you. I love it.
Giancarlo is the best. Love him so much. And I hate that he didn't last long, but at the same time, just him being able to yell "Yo, Mama" was the highlight. Like, yep, that's an '80s movie right there. That's a
Really?
Gen X movie.
Pull that one up. Come on, pull that one up, Brock.
Up.
One Chase just said, pull it up.
Oh, okay. Chase says another random one I noticed was the guy who played the original driver of the Goblin truck was the Queen's landlord in Coming to America.
I didn't know that.
I didn't
Okay.
know that either. How about that?
Gotcha.
Was the Goblin truck based off the Green Goblin from Marvel?
Yes.
Yes.
it
Oh,
is-
very much so.
So
It is, but it isn't. You know, it's
Yeah, it can't be, right?
All right, so they didn't have to license that look.
Well, and someone I don't know who. I mean, Chase probably knows since as much as he's into cars. But somebody around the states actually has the Goblin truck. Has a
Yeah, they've had it like one convention or something. We
Yeah.
went to
Around
one time.
here?
I want to say
The trivia is just says that the head on the main truck is based on that of Marvel Comics Green Goblin. But
Okay.
I mean, it looks just like it. So, but I did see something about the truck. It says that about a year after the movie was released, the Green Goblin truck was taken to Silent Rick's Towing and Salvage in Wilmington, North Carolina. The jaw, lower teeth, tongue, and tops of the ears were gone, and what was left was severely burned. There was a let's see, John Allison of Wilmington, North Carolina, saw it there and bought it. He sold it to Tim Shockley of Piketon, Ohio. Tim displayed it in his video store, Uncle Jim's Videoland in Waverly, Ohio, for several years until he sold the business. The truck sat in his backyard for about 20 years. In 2011, he moved it into his garage and started restoring it. He spent 2 years restoring the head. He now travels across the U.S. and Canada, taking it to horror and Comic Cons. Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing if it had fire damage, that they only had one truck, and that was the one that was used in the movie that got fire damage because of the shot that it was in when it got shot at or whatever.
It sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So they didn't have more than one. That makes sense. That would be an incredibly expensive prop to have, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, but the thing is like if we're just thinking about the movie, the most terrifying thing for me as a kid watching this was just seeing that thing, and whenever it would rev, it would rev up, then the lights, the eyes, it was like it was pulsing. That was terrifying.
Yeah.
As a kid. I mean, yeah, this movie was absolutely atrocious, even as a kid, but it hits different when you're a kid, when you're younger.
Of course.
Oh yeah. It's
Much like a lot of things that we've discovered, that Brock missed out on, a lot of times when we saw these movies, we saw them with, quote, kids' eyes, or, we were a different place in our lives. So as we get older, we go back and watch, some of them just don't, sit right, or they don't, transcend through time, I guess is what I'm trying to say with how we saw it when we first viewed it versus how we watch it later on in life.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure this movie would have had a very horrendous effect on me as a kid, but man, I was so excited to see Pat Hingle in the credits.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh man, that's great. Batman. And that's where we know Pat is
Bubba.
Commissioner Gordon. And everybody was Bubba.
Everybody was Bubba. Yeah.
Even Bubba had his own shower, like we said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Emilio Estevez, always like Emilio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A convict out on parole, right? He was on parole, and so he was, of course, being taken.
Means.
Yeah. It means I got you, boy.
And thank you for bringing that up, because as they were showing, as Emilio is looking down the time cards, everybody's got a star on it. So I guess as the convicted people. There's somebody as the camera's going down the time cards. There's somebody named Gene Poole. In the time cards. One thing I noticed.
Yeah, the Dixie Boy truck stop.
You know it. You know that movie hit in high gear as soon as the little Jeep with the gun on top of it comes up, and he's doing the Morse code, beep, 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 and it just happened to have the one kid there that could read Morse code.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he got his merit badge in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Matt says Commissioner Gordon should have brought a rocket launcher to take out the Joker. Would have been very short.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Goodness. And if we blipped there, we apologize. Our connection here just kind of took a small hit.
Yeah.
You're good.
So yeah, I saw Yeardley Smith in the credits, and I'm like, okay, how is she going to be? And of course, she was just classic, just screaming Lisa Simpson throughout the whole movie.
Yep.
For Curtis.
I'm trying to think, was this right around the time The Simpsons started, or after? I'm trying to think.
Oh, hang
Yeah,
on.
wait.
We got Shane. What scuff on the Bama Geek stream? What's the meaning of this?
Hmm.
We don't know.
Yeah.
No. That's a good question.
We don't know what we're doing here, Shane.
No, The
so don't worry
Simpsons
about it.
began in '89.
Huh?
Bo was asking about The Simpsons.
Simpsons started on the Tracy Ullman show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, after this
originally,
movie.
yeah, but didn't come on to TV till '89.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is pre-Simpsons. Okay.
Okay, so Matt.
Look at there, Matt. Movie came out 3 years before The Simpsons and just before the first appearance of The Simpsons.
Okay.
on the
See,
Tracy
I knew
Ullman
it had
show.
to be close.
See there? I remember watching The Simpsons on the Tracy Ullman show back when they first started out. They did not look like, they were not as well drawn then. But
Oh
for sure.
no.
But yeah, this movie could have been based in Alabama with because they did have some flags representing the Dixie Boy
Yeah.
truck stop.
This
Truck stop. Oh yeah. Did you get a look at them gas prices?
check.
Dollar for
Yeah.
diesel.
Yeah,
Diesel,
$1.
$1 something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That blinded the poor guy just trying to refill the truck.
Yeah. That shot of his eyes is awful.
And then and I've said it before, but after many, many times of watching it, you could really, I don't know if they actually say it, but when they're, when anything bad happens and they do that,
Yeah.
it sounds like they're saying truck, and I'm like, you know what? Considering that the main antagonists in this movie are trucks,
Yeah.
that makes sense that they would just be saying truck over and over again.
Another observation I made that I didn't realize until after the fact. This is like me being the adult looking at it version, but after the girl gets her arm cut by the electric knife,
Yeah.
Emilio is
That
cooking.
knife
His character
hurt
is
you, honey.
cooking. Yeah, but then after that's over, he's still wearing the same blood-stained shirt while he was still working in the diner.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
He never changed the shirts.
Yep.
Yeah, that doesn't violate a couple of health code regulations.
No, well, I mean,
Not at the Dixie Boy truck stop. It don't.
But he's working 8 hours. He's working 9 hours, getting paid for 8.
See this star, boy?
Matt says those musical scare chords are actually Angus and Malcolm Young of AC/DC and Simon Wright on drums. It's the only horror movie that is 100% musically scored by AC/DC.
Nice.
Very nice. At least they had the logo that was painted on the side of that black van.
Yeah.
In the beginning on the drawbridge, at least that logo looked good. It didn't look like some the hand painted Dixie Boy truck stop sign on the side of the road.
Yeah, that was very well done.
Uh,
Yep.
Shane says, speaking of The Simpsons, they had an episode called Maximum Overdrive. That was kind of based
That
off
makes
the
sense.
movie.
I mean, seriously, Simpsons has made an episode of everything at this point.
Yeah.
So that doesn't surprise me at all. But I bet that was amazing. I haven't seen that episode. I don't know.
I hadn't either.
Yeah.
I stopped watching The Simpsons 25 or so years
I
ago,
don't even
maybe.
remember the last time I watched The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's been that long.
I think it's probably before this century.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gave up on The Simpsons.
Continue on the talk of the waitress. Like I said, she had my most favorite moment of the movie when she runs out there and screams.
We made
you.
you. We made you.
Like, I applaud the actress's enthusiasm, but
But see, one thing too is that, so, and especially, not to jump around, but just using this for an example. So at the end, the guy that gets hit by the goblin truck, it's like we just stand there. We really could outrun these trucks.
You got time to move away.
You have time to move away.
Now,
they don't just sneak up on you.
Now, the waitress I can understand because it's a machine gun.
Well,
cart.
that was different. But
I
the
don't know,
ones
they
that are
do-
getting mowed down by the trucks, you could have moved. It didn't
Okay.
just sneak up on you. And you could outrun it, right?
Yeah, and at least the Bible salesman was knocked over the fence, so he had a second shot at life that he.
Yeah.
I'm so alive.
And look, I know it's a reach here, but it was very clear that the reason they kept those people around is they needed them to pump diesel for them, right?
Yeah.
Because it was very obvious. But it was like it's not really that much of a stretch for them to have just been like, the pumps themselves are machines as well, right?
Yeah, it's very selective because like the trucks are driving each other, but like the car, the Newlyweds was fine.
Yeah.
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 I mean, I realize we're trying to make logic out of a movie about a comet that's passing through Earth and causes, machines to turn on us. I realize we're trying to, make, logic out of this, but,
And
you got to find a way to enslave humanity. And our selected slavery is pumping gas for rogue.
Pumping gas to get blisters on your hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they did show the thermometer that showed it getting about 100 degrees.
Yeah.
So I can see why they got tired all of a sudden. And Shane says, "Oh, we're going to watch trucks after this." Yeah, we discussed that earlier. We might.
I'll watch it.
We might. I don't know. Like I said, this podcast has a way of getting me to watch some really terrible things.
Hence what we're talking about tonight.
Yes. And I was looking forward to this because everybody kept telling me, "It's like, man, it's the ACD soundtrack. It's fantastic. It's a Stephen King movie." I'm like, well, those are checking all the boxes.
It's no Shawshank Redemption, baby.
It's not Shawshank. It's not my favorite movie. Stephen King, and we have friends who are diehard Stephen King fans, and I like Stephen King to an extent. I've always enjoyed a lot of his stuff, but I don't know. It's kind of like when I was reading It about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I finally read it for the first time. And the ending of that book was terrible. It fell flat. The rest of the book was great, but it fell flat. And that's, there's so many Stephen King stories that the endings for me just don't work out. But this
he's
movie,
known for that though,
Yeah.
Stephen King's known for not him and what's the other one? Stephanie Meyer, who did the Twilight books. They're both really well known for not being able to write endings for crap.
And that's a shame because the rest of everything is really good. But this movie, there was nothing good about it except for the Goblin Truck
and AC/DC.
Yeah.
Yes.
And maybe
Shane says he's very hit or miss with the stuff he has full control over. Yep.
That's funny that you mentioned the ending where the ending was, I'm pretty sure that what they wanted to be was out of the budget. So therefore it was text.
Yeah. You had to read, you had to read the ending. And the comet's effects only lasted 8 days, as predicted.
They were going to get on the boat, but then they blew it up. I don't know where they're going. They were dead. The end.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I just really honestly, I had to apologize to Brock about sitting down to watch this movie. Like, I'm really sorry. I really honestly, because I had really, like I said, watching it, I was like, boy, this is really bad. This is a really bad movie.
It is. It gets worse every time I see it, which is, I think it's amazing. It just keeps getting worse.
I wonder if Riff Tracks has hit on it.
I don't know.
I was going to say.
Yeah. So the guy, Zeke or whatever his name was, that had the diesel in his eyes, was the dad of that kid that was riding the bike throughout the neighborhoods. That kid just really seemed unfazed by everything he was seeing at that age. Driving around and there's half bodies laying around everywhere, and he's like, he's just riding around and
And doesn't look like Riff Tracks has done Maximum Overdrive yet, which kind of surprises me.
Yeah.
They should. But this kid, I mean, he gets a little upset that his dad died.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just a little bit. And then he had the hard time. I guess he was trying to get under the sewer grate. And
what about the dude that was like trying to grab him when he was leaving? That was nightmare fuel. The dude that was the Bible salesman guy.
That got hit. Yeah, he got hit.
Yes, it was trying to grab him and pull himself up, and that was nightmare fuel a little bit when you were a kid.
Yeah,
you think you're going to get pulled under and all that muck with it. That's gross.
I think about that time I turned my attention to my phone on the couch, and I vaguely remember that part because I was looking up something else. I tried to keep full attention, for tonight's review, and I know
okay. So all right, you know what? your view of it was spoiled. You had to view it as if we were kids where you didn't have phones.
Yeah.
and the only choice you had was to watch this abomination.
You have to sit and watch it. You don't have any other distraction. Yeah.
It's what's on. Deal with it. Okay.
And that's, I am happy about one thing that they did explain. Once Pat Hinkle came out there with the rocket launcher and it started blowing up the trucks, I'm glad they did dive into where that came from, because it just came out of nowhere. And I'm like, what the heck?
The stockpile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one thing. He just shows up there, and there's a rocket launcher, and I'm like, where did that come from? So I am happy at least they provided that amount of backstory.
Oh my God. Shane's diving into more Stephen King stuff.
So Shane says, personally, it's not as bad as Dreamcatchers.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Or Shane, I'll throw another one at you. The Langoliers.
Oh,
The Langoliers with Balky.
that's the reason why, like I said, I think that was why it was a made-for-TV movie.
The Langoliers is so bad.
One that I haven't watched in a long time is Needful Things, but I remember liking it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember
Langoliers is probably he's probably thinking about the TV one with Tony Shalhoub in it.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Sleepwalker. I've always wanted to watch Sleepwalkers, but I have not watched it. I've always been curious about it.
It's interesting.
Sounds like you need to, Bo.
I liked Thinner.
Mm-hmm.
I did like that one. I enjoyed the TV version of it, and I really enjoyed the the 2-part movie that recently came out. It was really good. I like that.
I still need to watch Chapter 2. I watched the first one. I didn't.
You never finished it?
No. Well, it's not. I never stopped it. It just never. I was like, I'll watch this, and I put it off. I need to fix that.
Yeah.
Oh, Chase. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Lawnmower Man is worse than most war crimes. And Shane says incest cat monster movie.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep. That's about it.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Keep leaving your Stephen King takes in the chat. We're enjoying this.
Yeah.
And Shane, just to confirm that, yes, I am talking about the 95 version.
Yeah.
I went and looked it up. Yes.
And of course, made me think with cats involving him, Cat's Eye, scaring parents that the cats were going to take babies' breaths away.
So in Sleepwalkers, Alice Krieg, is it Krieg? Craig,
I think.
Yeah, that was she was the Borg queen.
Yeah.
She was in Sleepwalkers. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But okay, so you have, if you go back and you think Stephen King, though, in the 80s, Christine was good. Carrie was good. Cujo.
Cujo was pretty good.
Even, Firestarter. I mean, you've got these early, 80s Stephen King movies that are great. And then, somewheres, like I said, then you end up stuff with like Lawnmower Man or Langoliers or Sleepwalkers. It's just, it's an odd hodgepodge. It's a mix. It's like we said, you just really don't know what it's going to be like until you watch it. So. And
they made a really bad video game out of Lawnmower Man
as
well. That thing was terrible. So
Running Man.
Running Man is a guilty pleasure of mine.
Yes.
And we will not be talking bad of Running Man. I love that movie.
I need to see it.
Brock hasn't seen it.
Oh my God, that's next. That's next.
Oh, yes.
I have a list.
Oh my God, guys. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that he should do Running Man next?
I thought y'all wanted me to do Labyrinth.
Oh, but I don't know. If we're talking, let's keep on Stephen King, man.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Let's see. Matt says the new It movies were shot 3 hours away from us in Canada in Port Hope, Ontario. Jake from Yes Have Some Podcast went there, and I missed him by 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And then Shane says The Running Man, and I disappointed Shane. He said he's done with me.
Yep. Shane agrees, though. We need to do Running Man next.
Running Man,
yeah.
Is that going to be the next one?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right, you got to give me a couple of weeks. I got 2 weeks of travel coming up.
And
Running Man is so freaking good.
Paramount Plus, so we're good.
It's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
Okay.
It is a product of its time, but it is a perfect product of its time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It actually has. It actually. It's a fun movie, and you can actually think about it like afterwards, and you're like, and with me, if I were you watch it now, I'd probably get to the end of it and go, why have we not already done Running Man? like in real life, because you're like we are like this far away from doing Running Man at this point.
Matt says here, and I do not know this reference. Here's Sub-Zero, now Plane Zero.
You'll know soon.
Blade Zero.
Okay,
Just wait till you watch the movie. Oh,
Okay. Shane says the OST soundtrack is awesome.
I'm sure it's a
Oh my
synthwave like masterpiece. I gotta have to look it up.
God, that movie is so good.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay, probably my two favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movies of that era are Running Man and Total Recall.
Good
I love
choices.
Total
Good
Recall.
choices.
Running Man, Total Recall. I will watch either one of those any day of the week. I love those movies. Running Man. God, it's been a while since I've watched that. I need to watch that.
It still holds up. I watched it about a year or two ago. It still holds up great.
I would. Yeah, I'd believe it.
Yes,
It's been a while
80s
since I've
Jesse
watched it.
Ventura.
Yes.
Yeah, Shane said 80s Jesse Ventura.
Yeah, like Predator era
Yes.
Ventura. So
Okay,
it's
that's good stuff then.
Oh yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's incredible movie. Well, I'm not gonna say incredible.
Yeah.
It is a product of its time,
But
and it is
it's-
cheesy, but it's
it's so
good
perfect.
cheesy.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good 80s.
I think they're supposed to be remaking Running Man, or they're making a
God, I
new
hope
one.
not.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think so.
Well, you know, this is totally off subject about remakes, guys. But I was yesterday. I watched Honey, I Shrunk the Kids again. Okay, I know this is totally off subject.
No,
Why
no.
have they not remade that?
They did enough bad sequels.
Yeah,
I know, but I mean, like Disney's like obsessed with remaking everything. Why have they not remade that?
glad they haven't though.
I am too. I really am.
Yeah, glad they haven't.
Yes, Professor Tanaka. Yep. Yes.
Who is
Because he's
Professor
one of the
Tanaka?
gladiators, or the what do
Yeah.
they call it? What do they call him in the movie, Bo?
Oh, well, I mean, they're competitors. I just can't think of what they
yeah.
call them.
Is that a character?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why
because
I'm lost.
Professor Tanaka doesn't even he plays Sub-Zero, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Here's
see.
Sub-Zero. No, yes.
Yep.
Now Blade Zero. It's so good, man. Oh man.
Yep, there is talk about a remake. Yes, on Running Man. By the way,
I knew there was one somewhere.
I know that they should just start doing it at this point. I mean,
Everything
they
else
probably
gets
could.
remade.
Yeah.
Well, he's just talking about doing Running Man IRL, I think.
That's what I'm talking about. Literally Running Man. Because, I mean, the plot to it, Brock, is that they take prisoners or people who've been convicted and they put them in this show. And the whole idea is that if they can make it to the end and escape, then they have their freedom. So they have to. That's why they call it Running Man. You run to the end, but you have to dodge all these gladiators that are trying to kill you, and you have to survive. And that's all I'm going to tell you because it has a very deep and intricate plot to the movie. And I don't want to ruin it for you.
Okay.
so remake Glenn Powell, who was
It's in Twisters.
in Twisters, Josh Brolin, William H. Macy, Lee Pace, Michael Cera have been attached to this movie, along with Coleman Domingo, who was
Man, if they don't get John Cena in there to be one of the gladiators, and I don't even know what's going on, that would be amazing.
He's next year.
yeah, he's got to retire this year from wrestling.
All right. So Shane
Yeah.
said Professor Tanaka was Mr. Fuji's tag partner back in the day and also played the Asian butler in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And it says also has a board game in universe.
Mm.
And then Chase says the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids remake will actually be an Ant-Man sequel.
You know what? There we go. There we go. You're right,
He's
Chase.
not
I think they
wrong.
have already made it. Yes,
Yeah.
it was minus Rick Moranis though, unfortunately. But he's back in. He's back acting again, so maybe they could get him to come back.
Never know.
Oh, I do have to tell y'all, Brock, there was another movie that Brock watched a couple of days ago that it was the first time he had ever seen it. And it was The Lost Boys.
Oh,
Really?
Yep.
What did you think?
yeah.
Come on. What did you think?
I enjoyed it knowing that knowing
you know
it
that-
was
did you know the
another
guy
product of
was
its
a-
time.
Okay. Did you know
I-
the guy was the main vampire?
It was Kiefer Sutherland.
No.
No.
Wait.
No, at the end, remember the
Oh,
Max,
him.
Max, yes.
Yeah.
Oh God, there he goes.
They told me to choose my next words carefully. No, the Lost Boys, I did like the one. Okay, if I have one critique, if I have two critiques of the Lost Boys, and I hope you'll forgive me for this, Chase. The first critique is Alex Winter should not have died that quickly, because I love Alex Winter. You know, Bill was one of the vampires. The second critique I have is Corey Feldman.
Chase is not going to get mad at you for any Corey Feldman
Okay.
critique. I can tell you that.
Him trying to sound like a little tough guy.
Little Rambo.
Yeah. His voice was so stupid.
Yeah,
He
Corey
was
Feldman.
trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don Morello.
So if those are my two criticisms of the Lost Boys was Alex Winter died too soon and Corey Feldman just sounded ridiculous.
They needed a more saxophone solo.
Yes. Yes.
Oh God.
Yeah.
But outside of that, realizing that I knew it was definitely an 80s flick, and I really did it. I did like it.
Yeah, he did. He liked it. He enjoyed watching it.
He says, you think he sounded stupid, then you should have worked with him on the set. No, I'm good. I wouldn't want to get yelled at for like missing a note or something.
Yeah, the first time Corey spoke in the movie, Brock was like, "Why is he talking like that?" I was like, "He's a tough guy. He's a vampire hunter.
He's not tough
he
at
is
all.
a
He's Corey
Rambo-
Feldman.
He is
He's
a
not tough.
Rambo vampire hunter. Okay, he's got him. He's tough."
So Matt says, tune in next week when Brock reviews the Lost Boys on Bama Geeks podcast. That was my review. I gave it. I gave it to you early, Matt.
He liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Corey
Shane says they
Feldman's
played Cry Little Sister too much.
Yeah.
That's a movie I
And then the film went on to make way too many Lost Boys sequels. I didn't know there were sequels.
I never watched any of the sequels.
I think that Corey Feldman still thought he was on the set of Stand By Me.
It was like It and Young Guns. It was a big popular movie that had a bunch of sequels nobody cared about.
Yeah.
Yep.
So many girls in my class loved both the Young Guns movies. The two. Were there only two or were there three?
There's only two.
There are only two. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't watch any of them because my ex-girlfriend loved, this is the 8th grade. She loved Emilio and all this stuff so much, and she just kept raving about it. It's the same reason she's the reason I also don't like New Kids on the Block, because she was so nuts over them as well at the same time. And so it was a jealousy thing. Shane says, yeah, the sequels are bad. Only reason I saw one of them is I got to see it super early at San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, okay.
Well,
It doesn't sound like that was something to brag about there, Shane.
Hey,
oh,
this is awesome. I like revisiting these movies with you. This is like this turned from Maximum Overdrive, where he was worried about like a discussion, and here we are. We turn into Stephen King and Lost Boys and everything else.
Well, that tells you everything you need to know about Maximum Overdrive, that it doesn't have enough substance to actually fill, but maybe like 45 minutes of an episode, because it's just not that much substance to the movie.
I was
movie
really
exists.
seriously worried about that after we watched the movie. I was like, oh gosh, there's really not much to talk about.
There really isn't, and so we're sorry if we disappointed y'all with that. My whole thing. Okay, so was there anywhere else in universe that was? Didn't they mention on the radio that like in London or New York? Or that it was happening elsewhere, but they only focus on this one podunk truck stop in North Carolina.
Yeah, it was happening all over the place.
Yeah.
I guess we should be thankful that it didn't turn into like a Walking Dead thing where they were like, let's follow them here, let's follow them here, let's follow them here, and then we just had more copies of really, really bad things where trucks were trying to kill everybody.
Fear the Maximum Overdrive.
I want to know. Okay, so we had there was an actual trucking company on one of those trucks. Thurston, is that what? Like, I've actually seen one of those trucks, like some of those trucks on the road before. And then, of course, Miller High Life had a truck, and they had a sign hanging in one of the windows. So how was were the sponsors proud? Was Miller proud?
Yeah, that and Bic. There was one of the trucks that had a
Bic.
Bic.
Yeah, Bic
I've never
was-
seen a Bic semi truck, but that
Okay.
was.
So let me ask you a question, Brock. Did you just mention their name? Did you just mention their name? Like
You know what?
You remembered
You're
they
right.
were in it, right?
You know, you're absolutely right.
So yes, they're proud.
Touche.
I think this was more referring to Bic lighters and as opposed
Oh.
to the
Was it the
pens.
lighter or the pen? Because it's the same thing.
Well, I mean, it says like among the products names used on the tractor trailer trucks that were controlled by the Comlet are Happy Toys, a Tasty ice cream truck, okay, Miller Brewing Company, Bic lighters, JOB rolling papers, Dutch Boy imported tobacco, Thurston Motor Lines Incorporated, Bridgestone Motorsport, Worsley Transport Rider, Zeke's Trash and Waste Removal, and a liquid oxygen tanker.
Okay, so they were talking about tobacco with Dutch boys. They were not talking about the paint.
Yeah, Dutch Boy imported tobacco.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, another thing I noticed, there was the kid wearing the Champion shirt, and there was a couple of Champion battery icons too. That I remember seeing those.
That's the only way they got that movie funded. Had
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah.
Shay says it was a short story originally, hence the single location.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense.
Yeah.
Shane says, Running Man has Richard Dawson. Well, that's
Yes.
the reason for me to see it.
Mhm.
I love
Yeah.
Richard Dawson.
It's a good movie. It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I never would have told you if I told you that Maximum Overdrive was a good movie, Brock. I apologize.
No, you didn't.
It's not.
You were very much. You got to see it for the AC/DC soundtrack. That's
Yeah.
what. That was the hook that got me.
It was just all in this whole like realizing all these movies that Brock has not seen.
I missed a lot that everybody loved. Apparently. Matt says, once there was an ice cream truck driving around our neighborhood at the end of October, playing ice cream truck jingles at half speed tonight, or half speed straight out of a horror movie.
Oh, guys, you guys think I should take it up a notch next year for Halloween? I'll buy an ice cream truck and I'll do that.
You would.
I totally would do that too.
Well, this one we kept playing King of the Road. It
Yeah,
was
King of
that-
the Road. Yep.
King of the Road on Maximum Overdrive. So
And then you could. Oh man, I could totally deck out the whole house like it's from Maximum Overdrive with the push mower that's bloody,
Yeah.
and the guy hanging out of the bushes, and the woman that's hanging out of the window that's got the. What did the Walkman that killed
I think it
her
was
or
the
something?
Walkman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was like,
Yeah.
how did the Walkman kill her? Was it the
Wait,
blasted AC/DC at full
did you-
volume or something?
I mean, you saw that there was, the
Yeah. The
it
blood
was-
coming down, yeah.
it was
Yeah.
coming out of her ears.
Yeah.
So apparently the Walkman decided to turn itself up to maximum volume. And also,
It's playing Mellencamp.
huh? Wait, what?
I said it was playing Mellencamp.
In my world, it would.
Well, there's also a rumor, speaking of like 80s singers, that Stephen King originally wanted to cast Bruce Springsteen in this movie.
Wow.
What in the world would he have done?
I don't know.
Would have run around in a white
He
t-shirt
just
and
wanted to
jeans
share. He wanted to have some Forrest Bump with him. That's probably what it was.
There was a
Stephen
lady-
was going through a lot at this time.
Yeah. There was a lady hanging out the window where the guy at the end of the movie steals a ring right before he gets run over by the goblin truck. Apparently that was Marla Maples.
Okay.
She was listed in the credits, and I'm like, that's the only one it could have been, because she had this fat ring on that the guy stole, and she looked like her.
Yeah, because she's just listed as like woman number 2 or something like that. So I
Yeah.
don't.
She was the second woman hanging out of a window. Shane said that Bruce would just be a glorified cameo on set.
Yeah.
And Shane also mentioned
we mentioned that.
Yeah, Giancarlo. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, Giancarlo's 2 words in the whole movie. Yo mama.
Yeah, that was literally like the only redeeming factor of this movie for Brock, I think, was that Giancarlo Esposito was in it.
Man, that got
Pretty
knocked
much.
out of the way early.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I can't. Yeah. Yo, mama, you're a mother.
And I can't believe Brock, that you had.
Shane
Yep.
said Marla Maples was always woman number 2.
Yes, she was.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh man. And I can't believe, Brock, shocked that you didn't mention the ultimate scene in the movie with the Bible salesman and the woman and the sexual assault that was happening in the car.
Look, that guy was rotten.
That guy was just.
What did you call her? Sugar?
It was so uncomfortable.
Sugar britches or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Was it? I thought it was sugar, but with the.
I don't know.
Begins with a T.
I don't know, but it was uncomfortable. It was extremely
It was
uncomfortable.
very
That's why she kept a straight razor or kept a razor on her.
I remember being a kid watching this and being uncomfortable with that.
Yeah,
guy.
that was
I mean, it not even knowing, and you're just like, this guy's just creepy, and you don't even know like the dynamic there. And then when it hits different when you're an adult, obviously, but when you're a kid, even when you're freaked out, even when you're a kid, that was just that guy was just wrong.
It was the mustache.
It was. They had to have been. Yeah.
Oh my. Well, I don't think there's much more we can really say about Maximum Overdrive.
No, not really.
it exists.
It was terrible. It was awful. I never want to see it again. I did like the Goblin truck though. That looked cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what everybody says about Maximum Overdrive. Is like it has the Goblin truck in it, so it's got to be cool. That's about it.
Yeah. So, anything else?
No, I don't think there's really much more we can elaborate on about this.
Yeah. That was definitely one. That was a hide and creep level.
So we're going to redeem this next, and we're going to see if we can get Brock to watch Running Man. And hopefully we'll get a little bit better of a Stephen King movie that's not, obviously not Shawshank Redemption level, but, 80s.
There's not much that Shawshank Redemption level for me. That's my number one movie of all time.
That's because Stephen King had as little to do with it as possible.
Yeah. Matt says there was a great interview with Stephen King that said half the crew wanted to quit after the first 2 weeks of Maximum Overdrive because he didn't know how to properly set up camera shots.
Yes, I fully believe
I can see that.
Yeah.
And Shane says it's one of those movies to watch to see people that were either famous or before they got famous. Yep.
Yeah.
Matt says Stephen King asked David Lynch for director help because they were at the Dino De Laurentiis office, and David Lynch said, "Yeah, don't worry about it. Just learn about camera angles, and you'll be fine."
He tried.
I can't give him an A for effort.
Did he?
It's not an A for effort.
He tried. I didn't say it was good. I just said he tried.
He wasn't the only
He was
ATMs.
under the influence of something that
Fred
apparently
Garvin, male prostitute.
I can't talk about.
Yeah.
That I didn't realize I couldn't talk about. So.
Thank goodness they don't have that at SpaceX or something like that, where it's like, well, it didn't launch, but he tried.
He tried.
It blew up midair, but he tried.
Yeah.
I'm not always saying it was a good thing. I'm just saying he tried. Okay.
Well, he's accomplished more than I have, so there
That's
you go.
right. I haven't directed a movie, so and
he did create a product of its time. I don't know if I'd call it a classic, but it's a classic in certain aspects ish.
It's like I said before, it's okay that we don't like it. He doesn't like it either. He trashes it. He hates it. He wish it didn't exist. They even said,
look,
Yardley Smith is even embarrassed by it. So,
if
we've all done something in life we're embarrassed about. So
if you're looking for 70s, 80s movies about trucks, like I want to go back like Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone's another one where it's all about trucks and truck stuff. This is another one.
Yeah.
There we go. Shane said it.
It's like Over the Top.
Man, there we go. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chase says he recently watched a thing about Emilio Estevez, and apparently since he wanted to direct, King let him direct some scenes off the record while King was lining things up.
Lining things up. Thank you,
all them
Chase.
camera angles, huh? Is that what he meant by camera angles?
yeah, that's exactly what he meant.
So yeah, if you wanted to just watch truck movies, there's a whole list of them because we went through like a decade where we were all obsessed with the whole truck culture. This is one. I don't know if I would say this is a required watch, but it's definitely one to watch because you can see what happens when trucks are bad.
Well, and apparently, Stephen King has some deep-rooted fear about, cars taking over. I mean, we had Christine, we've got, Maximum Overdrive. So there's like
Christine was good, though.
Christine was good. No, Christine was really good. I mean,
maybe it's well founded because didn't at some point in his life he got run over by a van?
Yeah, he
Yes.
did.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe it's
Almost
well
died,
founded.
yeah. He's got a deep-seated fear about vehicles. I mean, there's something in there. And what was that?
Black Dog. Yeah, Shane mentioned Black Dog 98. Yep.
What was that about? A truck, apparently.
Yeah, it was. That was Patrick Swayze, right? In Black Dog. I think that was Patrick Swayze.
Oh yeah. Okay, you're right. Yeah, it was Patrick Swayze.
Yep. That was a pretty good movie. That was actually pretty good.
I had just seen.
You want to watch Duel?
She said if you want to watch Duel, but you don't want all the good cinematography. And Katie said Black Dog.
Yes, Shane said it has meatloaf. That's right.
Oh, and Black Dog.
Meatloaf in it.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
That was
Meatloaf was a
actually
villain.
a good movie. Black Dog was actually a good movie.
What? Okay, that's ringing a bell with me. I didn't see it, but that's ringing a bell with Meatloaf.
Hey, he'll do anything for love, but he won't do that.
And Randy Travis. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Now you've got my attention. Meatloaf and Randy Travis.
You haven't seen this yet, Bo?
No.
Oh my God, dude. Go watch it. Go find it.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, it was good.
Okay, here it was. Here's something else I found. So in the film, the Earth passes through the comet's tail on June 19th, 1987. Oh, Brock. Oh, on June 19th, 1999, King was hit and nearly killed by a distracted truck driver.
June 19th, 1999?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my wedding day for my first marriage. June
when I
19th,
saw that.
1999.
Well, he has a thing like with the I read the Dark Tower series, like everything. It's weird. It was the 19th because he has a thing about the number 19. Like 19 is an uncommon number. Like it's certain things where everything's always there's one of the characters called everything's coming up 19. Like 19, there's so many numbers and whatever. You should, if you ever get bored, do a deep dive with that.
Hey, Caitlin. Caitlin said, "Hey, it's good to see Kevin back. I promise I won't crash the stream this time." Randy Travis stole Hank.
Yes, he did. Sorry, excuse me. I haven't been taking myself out way to cough, so y'all just bear with me.
Yeah, she's tried,
I've tried.
and I'm not hitting the mute button quickly enough. That's all right. We're coming to the end of this because there's not much more we can say about Maximum Overdrive.
No.
Dude, I can't wait for. Honestly, I can't wait for Bo to watch Black Dog. I want to see what you think about it, man. You definitely need to watch that movie. That's pretty good.
I'll do some searching and find out how I can watch it.
I don't know why the Wraith just popped into my head with Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
That car.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that since the 80s.
It's also
What are you
a
looking up?
pretty decent movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would call that movie good, but
Yeah.
it's decent.
There you go. That's a good term. That's saying the movie. It's not good. It's decent.
I mean, that's kind of Running Man. Running Man's.
No, Running Man is 80s awesomeness.
It is 80s also.
Yes.
Oh,
Really?
So Jay says Jay Leno owns that car.
Okay.
Owns the Wraith.
Oh
Nice.
crap!
Oh, I was just
Wow.
thinking about killer vehicles. You said any car, I was thinking any Jay Leno owns a car. That's how I read that. That's why I laughed. Sorry. Poor Leno.
Awesome. Well, tomorrow morning's going to come early, so we probably need to wrap things up.
Jay Leno tried to coach Stephen King up everybody's face. I believe it.
Mystery solved.
Shane said Jay owns a lot of concept
Yes.
cars. Yeah, he owns every car.
Yeah.
Seems like. So, well, we hope you've enjoyed the Maximum Overdrive discussion. We appreciate everybody in the chat joining us.
Thank you.
This has been fun. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, the chat has been a lot more fun than the movie was. That's for sure.
Yes.
But yeah, if you want to find out more about our podcast and go back and listen to old episodes or watch them or read stuff about us, and just go to bamageeks.com. You can also interact with us everywhere on social media at Bama Geeks. We've also got a Facebook group, Bama Geeks Front Porch. Just sign up for that. We'll let you in there. We'll have some fun. And never an obligation, but if you'd like to financially support the podcast, if you enjoy what we're doing, first of all, subscribe to the channel and follow us on your favorite podcast platforms. Leave us a comment anywhere you want. Definitely in the chat after the video, or after the stream, rather. We'd love to have your reviews on iTunes or Spotify and your ratings. So if you don't mind, leave a like on the video, comment with your favorite emoji, whatever you want to do. But all that being said, if you ever want to just say, hey, thanks, here's something to, help support the podcast, pay for the servers or whatever, bamageeks.com/join. That'll show you how to get to our Patreon, our YouTube channel memberships, and also our coffee now. KO-FI. I guess that's pronounced coffee, but you can leave a one-time donation there if you choose. Never an obligation. But what was this? Matt says, thank you. Please visit your local library to listen to AC/DC's discography.
Yes, absolutely.
Or you can just watch this movie. It's fine.
Yeah, at least get a few songs off of it. But we really appreciate you joining. And again, Jack Hensley, thank you so much again for joining on Patreon.
Oh, man.
Oh, Chase. Chase.
Oh, man.
Chase says, as a final note, Maximum Overdrive has one thing going for it. It's not the Little Mermaid.
Oh, man.
Oh,
it's Chase.
gosh.
That's the way we're going to end this stream, huh?
Oh,
I do
goodness.
love you, Chase.
Yes.
And Matt leaves a whole bunch of emojis. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, truck and the charging and the guitar. Very nice. So we're going to call it a night. We really appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for joining us in the chat. Check us out, BamaGeeks.com and at BamaGeeks everywhere. And hope you guys have a wonderful night. And we will catch you. We'll catch you next time. Thanks so much. We love y'all.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.